Well, the Houston Astros are doing their best. Let's see if we can help Seattle make it close. Maybe they're just trying to make Seattle think that they're going to win the division and then they're going to run away with it. Well, I'm just trying to be positive, folks. That was hot garbage. Where's the intro?
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Astros411 on X and on Facebook. They can find me at Back to the Bullpen on X, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get podcasts. Always positive, always Stros.
Guys, thank you for making us your first listen. Go ahead and become an everydayer. Go ahead and hit that little red button down there that says subscribe. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Go and check out Michael Connor with the Locked On Astros postcast as well. If you can't get enough Astros talk right now, it is time to jump off the train. We don't want to be Astros fans anymore. They have lost against the A's. So let's just panic. Let's just go ahead and just forget. Let's just focus on the Texans right now. I guess this is what you want us to be like. You want us to be super negative and everything like that. But I'm not that worried about this team. I think this is a bad stretch. Unfortunately, they're playing bad baseball, and this game is a emphasis on it. Hopefully they turn around, or else they're going to be watching from the couch. So hopefully this is just a rough stretch. But guys, today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB, to win $50 instantly when you do $50 off. Did I not put the right one in?
I got it. You got it. Don't worry about it. Just keep reading. Don't worry about it.
All righty. So, guys, thank you for making this your first listen. And in this episode, we are going to address what happened to Jose Altuve, what's going on with Chas McCormick, who is going on to IL now, and what's going on overall. So I'm worried. Don't get me wrong. I am worried about this team, but I'm not panicking, if that makes sense. I am concerned about the lack of offense. Hunter Brown, who's been pitching pretty well recently, had a bad game. I guess 5 runs in 5 innings is a bad game. He still had 7 strikeouts, but overall, I'm not too worried yet. Yes, the Mariners are winning right now, but you still have a big enough lead, 17 games left. Make the Mariners earn it.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite thing of what they're doing. They're not doing. They're so this is a breakdown. One of my favorites in this town, Charlie Pallillo, who doesn't get enough radio run like he used to. He's, in my book, one of the most respected, or I just think he's one of the best voices ever to hit the airwaves in Houston, and he's very underrated. This is what Charlie Pallillo put up on his X feed: 15-26 in 1-run games, 3-12 in games tied after 7 innings, 5-9 in extra innings, still 0 wins when down after 8, 0-52, but losing to A's, not shameful. Since All-Star break, the A's are 27-21. Right. The Astros are 27-22. Bottom line is, this offense is trash right now. You have an offense that should be absolutely obliterating Oakland A's pitching, and they're not. They're making these guys look like freaking Cy Young winners. They are not getting hits when they need to. They're getting runs. They're coming back. And Hunter Brown, for all intents and purposes, did well up until he gave up the 2 runs or that 3-run spot in the 6th inning, which derailed the entire thing. You take out that 1 inning, and the Astros win this game 4-2. You take out that 6th inning. I'm tired of having to say, if you take out that one first inning, if you take out that one third inning, the bottom line is, Eric, the Oakland A's are playing with motivation, and they're playing loose. They're playing free. They're having fun. They're untucking their jerseys. Their pitchers are walking off barking. They have confidence. They have got nothing to lose. And the Astros are out there playing with their butts clenched, like
backs against the wall, basically, and not performing, basically.
and not fighting. Yeah, like a Wolverine, you corner Wolverine, what does it do? It attacks you. It doesn't care how big you are. They're in like shriek mode. They're coiled, and they have a rattle, and they can bite. And they were ranked the second most dangerous offense in the playoffs by Major League Baseball, by MLB Network, but they are not playing like that. And they've got to get their heads out of the sand. Kyle Tucker, hey man, he got an RBI. He got a run in. But you know what he did the night before? He struck out twice. He failed to deliver. And this offense is failing to deliver. If they continue to fail to deliver, yeah, look, did I call a sweep? You damn straight I did. But every one of y'all should have thought the same thing. This Astros team, I don't care if they're hot right now. This Astros team should not be losing the first two games. You have Hunter Brown. You have Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, Valdez is on the mound tomorrow, but is it going to matter? I don't care if you have Nolan freaking Ryan up there throwing a no-hitter. Right now, this offense isn't performing. With this team, you're going to walk a couple batters. They're going to get home by some defensive error, and they're going to lose. That's just how they're playing, and they've got to get their heads out of their butts.
Yeah, they are 6-8 in their last 8 games. In their last 14 games, and they're just not playing great baseball right now. They've lost 6 out of their last 8 games. I said it right the first time, and they're just not playing great baseball. And this is the time where you should be playing the best baseball. Chas McCormick came back and started playing better baseball, and now he's hurt. It was announced after the game that he has a fractured hand, I believe, and so he has a small fracture in the right hand and will be placed on the IL. So he's likely out for the playoffs because I don't think he'll be able to return. So he looked like he was able to contribute again. Now you have Jose Altuve exiting the game. I know that Joe Espada said that he's not worried. He's not overly concerned. He's getting some treatment afterwards. But for those of y'all that didn't get a chance to watch the game, Jose Altuve had a bat where he swung, and it looked like he had an awkward follow through, and it looked like he tweaked something in his right side. And so he stayed in, he bunted foul for a strikeout. He didn't go out for defense. So a lot of people panicked. I know Altuve's a gamer. He's a grinder. He's somebody that goes out there injured a lot of times, but the Astros know that they need him healthy for the playoffs. And so I think this is a situation where, yes, you need wins, but at the same time, if you get to the playoffs, you need Jose Altuve healthy. And so they, like Espada doesn't seem concerned, but what if, we'll talk about this later. What if this is a little bit, it seems like every time you think things are going good, something happens. Kyle Tucker goes out, Bregman goes out, and then you have how many starters have we lost this year? If the Astros are able to hang on to first place in AL West, it's going to be amazing to see them. What can they do in the playoffs? Because they have gone through so much adversity this year. I know all teams have adversity, but it just seems like the Astros always find a way to rise. Why can't they rise against the freaking A's?
Well, it's because Irving said it seems like the Astros can't hit against pitchers they haven't faced a lot. Right. And I've talked about this, and I've actually asked Mike about it because, Mike pitched 19 years in the major leagues, Eric, and he knows his stuff. And he said, I don't know what it is. He goes, but if this team hasn't faced a pitcher or is unfamiliar with them, they cannot hit them. It is one of these things where the Astros are starting to revert back to last year. I mean, at home, they've actually been pretty good this year. They've been a lot better than last year. They were so bad last year that I can't tell you, I had 4 or 5 different friends of mine who their spouses or significant others stopped going to baseball games because they thought they were the reason the Astros were losing. And I was like, no, if that was the case, then nobody would have shown back up because they lost pretty much every game at home.
It's just like saying a no-hitter during a no-hitter. Does that really affect the game? No.
Yes.
But that's what makes us fanatics. That's what makes us crazy.
Yes, it does. Let me tell you, the last no-hitter I almost saw, it was broken up by the freaking wave and some moron behind me talking about the no-hitter. The next inning, the no-hitter was gone. So you know what? Call it what you want it, but I just call a spade a spade. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, Eric. The only team that can get this team in the right direction is hitting. And I'm wondering if they continue this offensive lack of output, do our hitting coaches stand to be on the hot seat at the end of the season going into 2025? That's what I want to know.
I think the answer, we'll have to continue this discussion, but I think you said it after the season. So guys, we'll go and continue this conversation in a second. Thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, make us your first listen. Hey guys, have you tried PrizePicks? It's the best way to go out there and play fantasy baseball. It's cool. Brett and I do it every day, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, whatever you want to do. If you want to go out there and bet how many outs will Framber Valdez get in tomorrow's game, what about how many home runs Yordan Alvarez will get? It's all available in the PrizePicks app. And you're not betting over a whole season. You're betting day to day. And it's just awesome. You're just betting with your knowledge, and that's the awesome experience. It's the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. Just download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. The code is LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't need to you don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Sound, Brett.
FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Go to FanDuel.com today and check it out. Look, we've been telling you about FanDuel all season long, but I'm going to tell you something a little different they've got, and you still have time because until September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial from NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube or YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out of market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. So you're not locked into some ridiculous contract. And look, if that's not enough, be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's double your winnings for all of Sunday, 9:15 pregame moneyline bets. Profit Boost will be live starting Thursday, 9/12. View your account page now to learn more about your boost. Just visit FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sportsbook.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Be sure to make the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen and become an everydayer. Brett, we got used to Chas McCormick playing every day. Now he's going on IL. So the question is, who's coming up to replace him? You might say Pedro Leon, but he hasn't really showed that much. What if the Altuve, like Altuve said, he's not concerned, but they'll know more tomorrow before the game. He's likely not going to play in tomorrow's game. But let's just say we don't think that anything's wrong. Let's just assume that nothing's wrong with Altuve. But what if there is something wrong with him? He has to miss an extended amount of time. Who do you play at second base? Is it going to be Whitcomb? Is it going to be Dubon? Or is this a chance to get a first-round pick up?
Are you talking about Bryce Matthews?
Yeah.
There's no way they bring up Bryce Matthews. 37% strikeout rate. I don't think they're bringing him up. They only brought him up to get extra at-bats in AAA. They didn't bring him up to jump him to to the major leagues. I would be shocked if they brought him up. I guess it's a question worth asking if you think Altuve is going to be out, but I think you stick Dubon over there. I think it's a pretty easy fix for Dubon. You can cement him in at second base. I don't mind that. I know you have now one of your outfield options out of the mix with McCormick, with the fractured hand going on the IL. So McCormick's probably done for the at least the regular season. I don't know how long he's out with the fracture. I don't know if that puts him out of the playoffs too.
It probably does.
But that's definitely a pretty big loss because he's a guy that you would want coming off the bench because he has playoff experience and he's done well. So again, look, it's next man up mentality. You got to dig your way out. Nobody's going to help you. The Mariners don't give a you-know-what about you. The A's don't give a you-know-what. And everybody you play from here on out, the Angels, you got a target on your back. And they're trying to play spoiler. And so that is the tough spot. The Astros have got to get back to playing fun baseball, get back to playing loose. The defense is just abysmal. They are brain farting all over the field. Their PFPs, they need to work on that. I mean, it is just, it's bad, Eric. Their defense absolutely sucks right now. And because of that, that probably would have kept this game within reach or even a tie if they don't suck it up on the field. And that's part of the problem. Not only were the bats not producing, but the defense is terrible. And so they just got to do better, man. And I don't think we're done. I don't think the season is over. I know Willard thinks it is. I think David's loving this. I think David's negativity is raining like a spring rain. Like he's like wallowing in, yes, I told you this team sucks. I'm joking, David. But I notice he's here to, this guy sucks. This guy sucks. Bottom line, this team still at the end of the day, if they can get into the playoffs, they can get hot at the right time, all this won't matter. But when they get to the postseason, just because you're experienced doesn't mean that people are going to lay down for them. So they've got to find a way. They got to find motivation, Eric. They've got to find a way to flip a switch. They can't get swept by the Oakland A's tomorrow. They just can't get swept.
It's amazing how they play really good baseball against the good teams, but when the bad teams, I know the A's have been playing pretty good baseball, but this is an answer to your question. This just came over the news wire. Chas McCormick says it's a small fracture below his index finger. He said he'll be back at the end of the season. So he said it's not a serious thing. So it's just something that they want to heal. So he's like,
season meaning end of the season, ready for postseason.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. They already know the timeline. Wait, hold on. The Astros allowed a player to tell when he's going to come back.
No, he has finger discomfort, Brett. That's all we know.
No, but did he say that?
Yeah, he said I should be back before the end of the season. And Altuve said that he felt a little something in his side on the swing. He said it's not comparable to his oblique issues he had last year. I'm not worried. Maybe I'll just wake up tomorrow and I'm good to go. Sometimes you just have to wait till next day and see how you feel. So
yeah. Someone said Mason Miller shouldn't be available tomorrow. I don't know. He didn't throw that many pitches. Shoot, I'd throw his butt out there every freaking day the rest of the year. Mason, your arm's going to be toast by the end of the year. We're going to use you up, kid. That dude can throw some gas. But dude, look, Hunter Brown, okay, before the beginning, okay, before giving up those runs, okay, that dude had gotten a bases loaded situation, was up against Brent Rooker. And I was like, I can't wait to talk about this moment where Hunter Brown like freaking reached deep back and threw gas and threw a high fastball and got Brent Rooker swinging under his rising fastball. And then he did it again. The next guy struck him out. And I was like, yeah. And like Hunter Brown was yelling, and Hunter Brown was doing what he was doing was he was trying to motivate his team. Guys, let's go. I'm here. I'm doing it. Like he was trying to light a fire, and the offense just absolutely, completely failed in that department. They owe him an apology tonight. The defense owes our pitchers an apology tonight. You can't put this on the pitchers. This is a team loss. They both didn't do their job, but more so than ever, this offense has got to get the gloves on the ground. They've got to get the bats in the zone, and they've got to start producing, because I'm telling you, man, everybody wants them. Nobody wants the Astros to make the playoffs.
Right.
They hate us. They hate us.
And no matter how much the Astros are struggling right now, we've seen them before. They seem to turn on the switch in the playoffs and become a totally different team. So the opposite of it is nobody wants to face the Astros in playoffs. So, guys, we'll go and continue this conversation in a second. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
You know, for those of us who thrive to get stuff done, including workouts, every minute counts. So why do you need Tonal? Well, let me tell you. It's smart strength training system that takes the guesswork out of working out. And look, I get it. I know you guys and girls, y'all work hard at everything you do. Y'all definitely rely on your going to the gym. I know you have your routine, but what if you had an AI-powered, smart, efficient strength training system in your home that could go with you on this journey? It's a personalized workout. It checks your movements. It basically tunes itself to create a personalized program to give you the best workout, all while you're in your house. Unlike a traditional gym or a traditional trainer, they use adaptive weight, advanced technology for your training. This is good for professional athletes to a mom of three. Tonal is trusted by thousands. So right now, they're offering our listeners $200 off Tonal purchase with the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com with the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off.
Hey, you. That's you watching the podcast right now. Have you subscribed to us? Have you made us your first listen every day? Well, yeah, you, Brett, the guy with the red hat. Have you made us your first listen? Have you subscribed to the podcast? Well, what are you waiting for? Help us get to 20,000 subscribers. Go and check out Michael Connor with the Locked On Astros podcast as well. And you can go and check us out both on your Amazon Fire TV stick. Just go ahead and download the free channels app and just go and search baseball. And you can find Brett and I on your big screen TV. So, I know right now we're all frustrated. I know we're all getting like, okay, this team is going to get swept. And if they keep on playing as inefficient, as up and down as they've been doing right now, yeah, they may not make it out of the first round. But I think the Astros have a way of clicking in the playoffs. And if I had to bet on any team in the playoffs, it would still be the Astros. But they need to, we had a positive sign today. Kyle Tucker, RBI single, pinch hit RBI single. So that was a good note there. You had Pena with a couple of hits. You had Alvarez with a couple of hits. The Astros got some hits, but they weren't able to capitalize like the A's were. And so it's just, unfortunately, the Hunter Brown gave up the 5 runs in the 5 innings. He did have 7 strikeouts, but it was too much for this offense right now that is inconsistent. You can't. Yesterday, I think that we had a lineup that would resemble something you'll see in the playoffs, minus Chas McCormick now, but or maybe with Chas McCormick. Who knows if he makes the comeback? But the Astros just got to figure out a way to get more consistent bats. I saw some comments yesterday that maybe the Astros shouldn't bat Tucker and Alvarez back to back, having too many lefties. I know this is something that Dusty Baker did last year, and it seemed to work for him. So I don't know if that's the issue. It just, there's too many Astros not having their best season this year.
Yeah, look, I think we've said it before. Just injuries. Look, baseball is going to happen, right? Things are not going to go your way. Things are going to go your way. The Astros in 2022, everything went their way perfectly, pretty much from beginning to end. The Braves in 21, nothing went their way until the playoffs. And then they mowed through the playoffs. Like, it was like, where did this come from? You know, the Phillies got to the playoffs after firing their manager. You know what I'm saying? The Nationals, their whole thing, getting and beating the Astros. Like, nobody, like, there are so many things that go into making a team a championship team. And I think you and I state it probably ad nauseum, but there is no other team that has more experience in this. And at the end of the day, experience does count for something. But I know that they know that they've got to be cleaner defensively. Maybe they've got to do more. Maybe they got to practice more. I mean, Eric, one of the things that I've really been impressed with, because I guess I hadn't seen it until I started really covering the team, over there at Sugarland, watching some minor league baseball. I didn't realize how much fundamental stuff they do at the pro level, because you don't think about that. I think like fundamentals, like little league stuff, like these guys hit off of tees. They take fly balls. They do situational drills. They do work on this stuff, and they just got to get locked in, man. They've got so many things coming at them. But again, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to, we're talking about, I love that, James All. We're talking about practice, man. Yeah, we're talking about practice. They need more practice. Sometimes you got to lock in with the fundamentals. And I remember my dad telling me that growing up. It's all about fundamentals. If you can be more fundamentally sound than the other team, you can beat anybody. And Eric, I remember when I was playing volleyball for Howard Payne University, we played Johns Hopkins University in the regional quarterfinal of the national tournament. Okay. Johns Hopkins was not ranked very high, but they made it to our bracket. We were ranked higher than them. We were 17th in the country. They were like 28th or 30th. We had to take them to a 5-game, a full match in order to beat them, because they were so fundamentally sound. Everything we hit, they dug. Everything, I mean, they either dug or they blocked. I mean, they were just perfect across the board, and it was all about their fundamentals. Now, we overpowered them eventually and won, but it was probably the toughest match we played the whole tournament, and they were one of the lowest ranked teams that we played that tournament. And that's where the Astros mentally need to go. They just got to lock in, man. They've got to have a short memory. Like, they're going to go to dinner and they need to laugh it up. They need to relax. They need to get away from the game and focus on their kids and stuff, and then come back to the baseball field and play and have fun. Remember that it's a fun game.
Well, ironically, you mentioned that Dana Brown was on Sports Talk 790 today, and he mentioned a lot of this. He said sometimes you lose track of your PFPs, and we got blindsided by them last night. He also said that fielding is timing. Jeremy Pena has been a little out of sync. We all know he's a special shortstop. Jeremy Pena is a really good shortstop. So let's not lose sight of that. And I thought it was hilarious that a lot of the reporters actually posted pictures of the Astros bunting during batting practice today. So after they saw the A's win, they went ahead and practiced some bunting skills. And after the game, Espada was asked, well, with the A's winning, should you have bunted in these situations? And he said, well, I don't think we should have bunted in this situation, but maybe we could have bunted in this situation. So it's weird that we're talking about bunting. But before we go on from Dana Brown, he did mention that JV's velocity is up to 97 miles per hour, but the command is a little bit off. Pay attention to the back of the baseball card.
Oh, stop
they
it.
will show up and get it done. You will be fine, and it's about the location. That is Dana Brown. He has been right so far. So,
but here's the thing, though. It's look. Sometimes messaging, okay. Sometimes telling the people what they need to hear isn't what they need to hear. Sometimes telling them in a way that is different. Like, you've got God bless. Can I get hired as like a marketing, like the marketing guy for this team? I promise you the messaging of this team would be impeccable. Let me do it for the league and for the Astros, and I promise you, put me in their marketing department. They would have to run every word through me. I'm not going to write a speech for them, but quit saying back of the baseball card. This is what you say. Justin Verlander has done everything. He was a Rookie of the Year. He's an MVP. He's a 2-time World Series champion. He's a 2-time Cy Young winner. He's thrown more than one no-hitter. Okay. You don't say back of the baseball card.
It's
You
on
say,
the back of his baseball card,
I know,
Brett.
but you don't use that phrase, because once you say that phrase, you're discredited and people don't want to hear that BS. So you just basically lay out his resume. We know, and Justin knows, that his location needs to get better. Justin is working his tail end off to get back to his championship form. And that's what you say. Stop saying back of the baseball card. Nobody wants to hear that ish. Nobody wants to hear it. But tell me why I should trust you and believe you. You know, earlier in the year, we mentioned this and this happened. Look, just trust me. We know where JV is. JV knows where he is. We're glad the velocity's up. We're going to get the control down. I see 2 of these next 3 starts being on point for Justin Verlander, and leave it at that. I'm sorry, dude. I think I can do a whole hell of a lot better job just the messaging for this team than any of those guys in the front office.
Well, it has to be better. In his last 4 starts, this is atrocious. His ERA is 9.68, 4 losses, 17.2 thirds innings pitched. He has a 6.11 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's allowing 1.53 home runs per 9 innings. And his whip is almost 2. It's at 1.92. So it hasn't been great. And like I've been saying, he is auditioning for the playoffs. A lot of people have been saying this. So far, the auditioning, this was spring training. Spring training is over. This is now audition time. And if Justin Verlander, I still don't see Justin Verlander because of who the Astros are. I don't see him not making the playoff rotation.
Right. No,
but
I don't. No,
I don't.
Yeah, I don't see him not making the playoff rotation for any team. But I mean, they even talk about it on MLB Network, Eric. I mean, they even talk about this on their different shows. Like right now, if we had to pick the roster, the playoff starters, we wouldn't choose JV. I mean, we're going to go over 32 minutes. I don't care. But hey, we've got Valdez on the mound tomorrow night. Valdez needs to be the stopper. But hey, defense.
And he has been.
Defense, catch the ball, throw it, don't make errors. Hey, offense, why don't you get a freaking hit against the Oakland? These are the Oakland freaking A's. They're gonna play in a minor league stadium next year. These guys, what are y'all doing? One of their 4 players today was they got in the Matt Chapman trade from the Braves, and he just now got up. So come on, man. Like, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing? Let's go win the game tomorrow. Punch them in the teeth, score 30 runs. Crush their souls, whatever you got to do. But for the love of God, make a catch, get an out, ground out double plays, please. And let's hit the ball out of the yard. Where's the power? Hit the ball out of the damn yard. We play in a juice box. We literally play in a park that is a hitter's park. Hit the ball over the freaking railroad track for once. Damn it. God, I'm so sick of this crap. God, come on, guys. Y'all listen.
If you're looking at somebody to turn the series around, I mean, I know it's too late to win the series, but Valdez is 14-6 with a 2.97.
2 games tomorrow. Eric's like, it's too late to win the series.
Well, you got to turning around the series at this point is getting a win, because the way the Astros have played, it's been terrible. So, but he is playing against Spence, who is 7-9 with a 4.42 ERA. But the A's have been playing really good baseball. If you're looking at who's done pretty well, Langoliers, who's actually been on fire recently for the A's, he's got a home run against Valdez, and also Rooker has a home run against Valdez. So I wanted to take a second before we get off air. Today is 9/11. Most of us who were alive back then, we all remember where we were at that time. I remember I was working at the Kroger on FM 528, and I was working in a courtesy booth, and I heard all these customers talking about it. They're saying, "Did you hear that something hit the towers?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And so I went and got a TV, a black and white TV off the shelf, and I went ahead and put it on so I can watch the news, watch what was going on. And it was surreal. It was just like something that was out of a movie, and it was like, this can't be really happening. And then the aftermath of seeing all the people looking for their loved ones and everything that happened after that. I went to the 9/11 memorial when I went to New York for Bagwell's induction to the Hall of Fame. that is an awesome sight. Just to see what they did, just walk through the museum, all the people that lost their lives that day. It's sad, but it also brought the country back together at the time. And so it's 9/11. I want to take a moment of silence. I would also like to say something about those people. And I know it's been downgraded, but we have Hurricane Florence that's been hitting some of our friends over there in Louisiana. We got a lot of Astros fans out there. Hopefully you got power. Hopefully you haven't been, your houses, your apartments, your cars have not been damaged too much by the hurricane, because we know what the damage can do. So Brett, any thoughts?
Yeah, just I'd like to say my piece about that. I know I put stuff out on X, from you and I from Locked On Astros, and one of the videos we watched in class today was just it was from the memorial, talking about what it's based in and all that stuff. And the first girl that speaks was a girl that was basically in her mother's stomach when 9/11 happened. And I remember my first daughter, who's now 22, going on 23 in this next February, she had yet to be born. So I was about to become a father for the first time. And let me tell you, I was scared to death of what the next years were going to bring. I mean, we didn't know if this was going to be an attack like on the country. Was Houston next? There were all these. One of my
was that Houston was next NASA.
So one of my friends, who was the secretary at the church that I work with, get this, her brother worked at the Pentagon, and his office is on the side of the Pentagon that got hit. He was late to work that day because he had to turn around and go get his badge. He forgot his badge, and forgetting his badge saved his life. She didn't find out until 7 days after that he was still alive. And then I found out, my friend JC on X, I found out this morning that his dad was one of the firefighters that responded, and his dad actually survived. And I was like, dude, I never knew that your dad actually was one of the firefighters that went into the towers. So no matter where you were, no matter if you were touched personally or not, I love how our country came together. And it sucks that it took a tragedy to bring us together, because I feel like we've grown so far apart. And if we could just find what we have in common more than what we have in different, I can tell you that we can make this world a better place. Because I have friends in my life, Eric, you have friends in your life, that we don't agree on hardly anything, whether it's political, religious, or sports. But if I were to be called by some of these people tonight and they said, I got a flat tire on 610, I'm going to go help them. And so you just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's where I get my always positive, always Stros. It's from my faith that I have in God. And I'm so thankful for this country. God bless America. God bless all you guys. If you're a first responder, if you're a teacher, thank you for what you do. And also for those in Louisiana, our hearts go out to you. I'm going to be on Louisiana radio tomorrow with a little bit of altered schedule, but I know they're prepping for the storm. So just keep those families in your prayers, and thank y'all for always being faithful listeners to Locked On Astros, because we couldn't do this without you.
So guys, on that note, thank you for making us your first listen. Go and subscribe to us. Go and hit that little red button down there. And tomorrow, I know it's a day game. Hopefully we'll have a chance to actually talk about an Astros victory, because it's sorely needed. You got 17 games left in the season. After this game, it's likely going to be a 3.5 game lead ahead of the Mariners. So you've got to do something. While I'd rather be in the Astros position than the Mariners position, because the Mariners are having to play catch up. But at the same time, don't let them catch up. You got to play. You got to win, and you got to win against the teams that you should win. Yes, the A's, and I told you this before this series started, the A's have been really hot. They've been playing great baseball, and they're probably going to be a force next year. They may be even a better team. Mariners fans are probably going to hate me for saying this. They may be even a better team than the Mariners next year, if with all their young players and the way that they have developed this year. So, guys, that's all we got for this edition of Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. Go and subscribe to us, and we will see you tomorrow. And go Astros.
Astros.